noticia de último momento proveniente también de la Casa Blanca, Donald Trump, y un mensaje al grupo terrorista Hamas. Veamos lo que acaba de publicar en su red social. Díganle a Hamas que inmediatamente libere a los 20 rehenes, se está refiriendo a los rehenes vivos, no a 2, no a 5 ni a 7, y las cosas van a cambiar rápidamente. Todo va a terminar entonces. Contundente mensaje de Donald Trump en momentos en los cuales Israel avanza con su operación final contra el bastión que tiene Hamas en Gaza, que es en la ciudad de Gaza, con muchas dudas respecto de las perspectivas de éxito que puede tener esta operación, con muchas dudas por la cantidad de muertes civiles que se están produciendo en Gaza, pero necesitado de avanzar porque Hamas continúa con su negativa de liberar a los rehenes cuando ya han pasado, estamos hablando casi 700 días de su secuestro. 20 quedan vivos, quedan los cuerpos de otros 28 esperando también volver con sus familias para una correcta sepultura. Y lo que estamos viendo acá es Trump apoyando a Netanyahu, Trump respaldando a Israel en la idea de que solamente tiene sentido parar la ofensiva si son liberados todos los rehenes. Nada de acuerdos parciales, que es básicamente lo que estaba ofreciendo Hamas para tratar de frenar la ofensiva sobre Ciudad de Gaza. En un ratito, hablando de esta noticia importante de último momento y hablando de la situación en Gaza, te voy a mostrar un informe que hizo Free Press, el sitio de Barry Weiss, hablando justamente sobre Hamas y sobre cómo controla la Gaza y cómo controla un sector clave: los medios de comunicación, los periodistas, en medio de tanto ruido de periodistas que supuestamente son asesinados, pero que en rigor son miembros del grupo Hamas. Pero en un ratito eso. ¿Nos vamos en vivo a la Casa Blanca? A ver, vamos.
Very successful man, but he was
Trump está
went into a
reunido con el
hatchet, so to speak. It was
flamante presidente de Polonia, con Karol Nawrocki. Así que vamos a ver, hacía un tiempito que no hacían estas reuniones
I also endorsed him, so I'm very proud of that. I don't endorse too many people, but I endorsed him, and I was very proud of that, the job he's done. I want to thank Vince Haley for that recommendation. Vince was fantastic, and I appreciate it. And I can tell you who really appreciates it, Poland, because they're very happy with their president. And I just want to say it's an honor to have you. We'll be discussing trade and various other things, the things that you discuss. We'll have a few questions from you, and then we'll get on to a discussion, then we'll have lunch, and then he goes and he meets with the Pope.
Después vamos a almorzar y él después va a tener un encuentro con el Papa.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias por estar aquí.
Mr. President, thank you very much, and I would like to express my gratitude for
Le contesta el presidente de Polonia: muchas gracias, quiero expresar mi gratitud por haberme recibido aquí.
Sworn and from celebration for my inauguration. It means that Polish-American relations are very important, very strong.
Las relaciones entre Polonia y Estados Unidos son muy importantes.
So strong relations that we have never had, and it's very important for me. Our relations are based, of course, on the values.
Y para mí es muy importante poder conservarlas. Es una relación que se basa en valores compartidos.
I remember it, and I'm very grateful for your support. It was the fight me against others, so your support was very important, and the support of Polish people, Polish diaspora. In the United States of America, we have almost more than 10 million people here, and they voted for Donald Trump. Yeah, and in vast majority they voted also for me, so I would like to say hello to Polish diaspora in the United States of America. Those relations for me, for Poland, for Poles, are very important with United States of America, and they are based on values: independence, sovereignty, democracy. And I think, Mr. President, that those values are epitomized by our common heroes.
Yes.
Kazimierz Pułaski and Tadeusz Kościuszko.
Y tenemos héroes
Thank you
comunes,
very much,
compartidos.
and I hope it will be very fruitful discussion around the energy around the economy and military service. Yeah.
Esperamos que
And
podamos
the
tener una
flyover
conversación muy
was
importante
very
acerca
much in
de
honor of
economía,
your
también
great
de
pilot
cuestiones
who
militares.
just passed away recently, who was a legend in Poland. You might want to say something about him.
Yes, of course, it was a terrific accident in Poland. Thank you for this gesture that F-35 opened our meeting. Major Krakowian was one of the best Polish pilots, well-honed Polish pilots.
Le pregunta Donald Trump por el accidente que se produjo hace algunos días, por el cual murió un piloto de la Fuerza Aérea Polaca que estaba haciendo una
He was a legend in Poland, actually, a legend as a pilot. He was an incredible pilot.
Era un piloto
And I think he
increíble.
went to the Air Force Academy, actually.
El que murió
But he was a
justamente en
fantastic
ese accidente
pilot, and it was a big setback, the people of Poland are very, very sad. So we thought we'd do that. That was the single plane that swooped up.
And machines, American machines, opened our meeting. It was great. And we are waiting for 32 F-35s in Poland. So it also shows that we have great relations according to the best military equipment on the world, American equipment, which
flota de aviones.
Polish security too.
Well, Poland, we've had a tremendous relationship. I think now it's better than ever because of this relationship. It's a little special because we fought together. But we've always been very good, and we have some wonderful people, as you know, Duda.
Hemos combatido juntos, tenemos una gran relación.
He's a good man and still a big fan of yours, very much so. So it's a great honor, and we're going to talk about trade. We'll talk about some other things. We'll take a couple of questions from the media.
Will American soldiers remain in Poland?
Okay.
Will American soldiers remain in Poland?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, do you know something I don't? I don't know. Yeah, we're very happy. If anything, we'll put more there if they want. But they've long wanted to have a larger presence. We have some countries that have more, not too many, but no, they'll be staying in Poland. We're very much aligned with Poland.
Nuestros soldados allí en
Sir,
Polonia.
on Russia and China, you certainly asked about. We saw a dramatic picture where we saw the leaders of Russia and North Korea and China together. The first time the leaders of those three countries have been together in this sort of show of solidarity. You said that they're conspiring against the United States. What do you think they're conspiring to do? And given this, is it reason why you should slap or would consider slapping secondary sanctions on Russia if they're conspiring against the U.S.
Well, I've already done that with regard to India, and we're doing it with regard to other things. And, I put out a truth last night. You saw that. And I was the one that brought it up. I said, they're only doing this. They're looking to, when they did what they did, I thought it was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was very, very impressive. But I understood the reason they were doing it, and they were hoping I was watching, and I was watching. My relationship with all of them is very good. We're going to find out how good it is over the next week or two. I think that we helped China very much, as you know, when they talk about freedom. And I don't believe that, and maybe I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe that America, that the United States was acknowledged for helping China to gain its freedom.
Hablaban de libertad y no creo que Estados Unidos haya sido reconocido por el papel que tuvo en la libertad de China.
I mean, I was very surprised. I watched the speech last night.
Me sorprendió mucho ver ese encuentro anoche.
But I thought that the United States should have been mentioned last night during that speech because we helped China
Estados Unidos por su papel
very,
en la
very
Segunda
much.
Guerra Mundial.
What was the reason they should have been invited, Mr. President? What was the reason? Mr. President, do you think they should have been invited?
Dijo que estaban conspirando contra Estados Unidos, Putin, Xi Jinping y Kim Jong-un.
But there's no action since you took your office.
How do you know there's no? How do you know there's no action?
But
really?
Wait.
Who are you with?
I'm with Polish radio.
Okay. How do you know there's no action? Would you say that putting secondary sanctions on India, the largest purchaser outside of China, they're almost equal? Would you say there was no action? It cost hundreds of billions of dollars to Russia. You call that no action? And I haven't done phase 2 yet or phase 3. But when you say there's no action, I think you ought to get yourself a new job, because if you remember, 2 weeks ago I said, if India buys, India's got big problems, and that's what happened. So don't tell me about that.
Mr. President, right now there have been survivors of Jeffrey Epstein speaking at a press
Ahora le
conference.
preguntan por los archivos desclasificados del caso Jeffrey Epstein divulgados ayer por el Congreso.
Thomas Massey, who is sponsoring a discharge positions, you get the House to vote on releasing those documents, says he doesn't believe you're implicated in these files, but many of your friends and donors may be, and he says that's why the Justice Department is redacting them and slow-walking the release. Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax, because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president. Even if you look at D.C. right now, D.C., it's a totally safe zone. It's called a safe zone. That's a term. It's a term of art. It's a safe zone because it's very safe. You can walk down the street now and nothing's going to happen. No crime, no murders, no nothing. Because we had a lot of problems with certain places, and we still do. All run by Democrats, or for the most part run by Democrats. So what they're trying to do with the Epstein hoax is get people to talk about that instead of speaking about the tremendous success, like ending 7 wars. I ended 7 wars. Nobody's going to talk about, because they're going to talk about the Epstein whatever. I understand that we were subpoenaed to give files, and I understand we've given thousands of pages of files. And I know that no matter what you do, it's going to keep going. And I think it's enough, because I think we should talk about the greatness of our country and the success that we're having. I think we're probably having, according to what I read, even from 2 people in this room, we're having the most successful 8 months of any president ever. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what we should be talking about, not the Epstein hoax.
When do you make a decision on Ukraine, Mr. President?
I have no message to President Putin. He knows where I stand, and he'll make a decision one way or the other. Whatever his decision is, we'll either be happy about it or unhappy. And if we're unhappy about it, you'll see things happen.
Venezuela, can you give us a sense of what the U.S. policy, or what you're trying to achieve with the aircraft carriers, or the boats, I should say, in near Venezuela, and also the boat that you mentioned yesterday where 11 people were killed? What was found on that boat, and why were the men killed instead of taken into
On the boat, you had massive amounts of drugs. We have tapes of them speaking. There was massive amounts of drugs coming into our country to kill a lot of people. And everybody fully understands that. In fact, you see it. You see the bags of drugs all over the boat. And they were hit. Obviously, they won't be doing it again. And I think a lot of other people won't be doing it again when they watch that tape. They're going to say, let's not do this. We have to protect our country, and we're going to. Venezuela's been a very bad actor. They've been, as you know, they've been sending millions of people into our country. Many of them Tren de Aragua, some of the worst gangs, some of the worst people anywhere in the world in terms of gangs. And we had some in Washington, D.C. We took care of them very quickly, but they're out of here. They're gone. But Venezuela's been very bad, both in terms of drugs and sending some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world into our country. They emptied out, you don't know this, but they emptied out their prisons in Venezuela, and they emptied them out into the United States of America. And that's part of the problem we have. We're getting them out. We're getting them out rapidly, but it's caused a tremendous problem. And Pete and all of the people that are working very hard to rectify the stupidity of the Biden administration, allowing these people to pour into our country with open borders. We are paying a big price as a country for the incompetence of the Biden administration. But think of it. Opened up prisons, drug dealers, drug lords, everything coming out of Venezuela. They said, and we said, we're not going to put up with it anymore. So Venezuela has been one of the worst actors in the whole group, and we have a group of pretty bad actors.
Are you wanting to force the
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. At the end of this month, the government, or the Congress, has to pass a budget.
Do you think we can avoid a government shutdown?
Yeah, I do. I think the Republicans will vote for an extension. We won't have any Democrat votes. We could give the greatest budget ever. Tax cut of 50%, everybody taken care of, perfect for women, perfect for men, perfect for minorities, perfect for everything, and we wouldn't get one vote for the Democrats because they've lost their mind. They are so deranged. They have Trump derangement syndrome, and I don't want to burn the Republican Party with it, but they really are. They've become almost sick. They actually think there is a disease. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. They've got it. No matter what we did, no matter how good, you could give them everything that they've ever dreamed of, and you wouldn't get one vote. These are sick people, and I think we're going to have a tremendous midterm. We just approved the largest tax decrease in the history of our country. We have things, if you think of it, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security for our seniors, no tax on overtime, deductions when you buy a car and you borrow money to buy a car. First time they've ever seen anything like this. Middle-income people get deductions. You get a deduction when you buy a car. Nobody's ever seen it. And by the way, they're selling cars like crazy. Cars are pouring back because of the fact that we have tariffs. Cars are pouring back into our car plants are pouring back into our nation. They're coming from all over the world. They're coming back. We lost about 54% of automobile manufacturing over a 30-year period, 35-year period. They're all coming back. I think they're coming back higher than ever before. We have AI going up. What we've done is amazing, and what we've passed is amazing. But the Democrats, I don't believe, will get one vote. It's very anti-crime. We want anti-crime. They're in favor of crime. We're against crime. They gave us things like men playing in women's sports, open borders for everybody, transgender for everybody. I mean, they wanted transgender for all of the crazy things that they were saying. And, people would say they're 80-20 issues. I say they were 97-3. I always say 97-3, and nobody knows who the three are. This is the best issue of all. They are against preventing crime. They are fighting us. I want to go into Chicago, and I have this incompetent governor that doesn't want us. Do you know that this weekend 72 people were shot in Chicago? I'm embarrassed to say it in front of the president of Poland. 11 people were killed. 72 people were shot. Last week, 7 people were killed in Chicago. A place which is probably your #1 place, I hate to say it, and we got to keep it safe. But 7 people were killed. The week before that, 5 people were killed, and 21 people were shot. This is in 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, I lost almost 35 people were killed. It could have been stopped. If you look at Washington, D.C., 3 weeks ago, it was the same or worse. And now it's considered a totally safe zone. Restaurants are open, they're bustling. Restaurants, you have to see, restaurants were dying. Nobody wanted to go out. They didn't want to be attacked. They didn't want to be mugged. They didn't want to be attacked even in the restaurant. And you take a look at what's happened. Friends of mine that haven't gone to a restaurant in 4 years, one of them went out 5 times in the last 2 weeks to a restaurant with his family. They feel totally safe. Washington, D.C. is a totally safe city. You're not reporting any crime because there is none. They said crime is down 87%, and I said, no, it's not. It's down 100%. We have a great thing going. I could do that with Chicago. We could do that with New York. We could do it with Los Angeles. So we're making a determination now. Do we go to Chicago, or do we go to a place like New Orleans, where we have a great governor, Jeff Landry, who wants us to come in and straighten out a very nice section of this country that's become quite tough, quite bad. So we're going to be going to maybe Louisiana, and you have New Orleans, which has a crime problem. We'll straighten that out in about 2 weeks. It'll take us 2 weeks, easier than D.C. But we could straighten out Chicago. All they have to do is ask us. To go into Chicago, if we don't have the support of some of these politicians, but I'll tell you who is supporting us, the people of Chicago. And I sort of want them to let it be known. They have incompetent people. A guy like Gavin Newsom, He's the governor of a state that if we didn't go in,
Son gente incompetente. Miren lo que hizo el gobernador de California,
soldiers, with our National Guard,
DNews.
you wouldn't even be having the Olympics there. They were going to take it. And remember this, your top law enforcement officer in Los Angeles said, there's no way we could have done this without President Trump coming in with the troops. We saved Los Angeles and we saved the Olympics. Thank you very much.
I got to say, thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Mr. President, in regards to Gavin Newsom, would you be open to a congressional investigation in regards to the specific Palisades fire where it killed 12 seniors to see if there's any negligence on Gavin Newsom or Karen Bass in regards to those deaths?
Well, I'll tell you, there's negligence on not getting people permits. That is negligent. We got all of the federal permits. Lee Zeldin. The federal permits are much more difficult. They were all gotten within 30 days. People could go build their houses.
Bueno,
it's going to be years before they are allowed to build their house. And Karen Bass is grossly incompetent. And Newsom, this is a very incompetent guy. I watched him with the hands. I'm saying, what's going on with the hands? There's something wrong with him.
Bueno, habla Donald Trump desde el Salón Oval, está reunido con el flamante presidente de Polonia, Karol Nawrocki, y ha dejado varias declaraciones, mensajes para Maduro, reivindicando el ataque contra el Tren de Aragua, muy duro contra los demócratas, contra la administración Biden. Para Putin, bueno, habló sobre lo que fue la reunión que mantuvieron ayer, hora de China, con mejor dicho, hoy, hora de China, perdón, que mantuvieron con Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping y Kim Jong-un, de sus intenciones. Para Putin dijo, no tengo ningún mensaje en particular, solo que vamos a ver qué es lo que sucede en las próximas semanas y tomaremos decisiones. Y además el mensaje, obviamente, cuando le preguntan por qué no ha tomado acciones contra Rusia, diciendo, ojo que sí he tomado. Y citaba las sanciones contra India, que es el principal comprador de petróleo de Rusia. Donald Trump y otra reunión allí en el Salón Oval con varias declaraciones jugosas. En un momento volveremos aquí en vivo desde la